A new service will help riders get to the bus stop at the same time as their bus. The Barnstable Senior Center earns national recognition for one of its amazing programs. And find out where to find help with any town issues. These stories on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Thursday, September 5th, 2013. I'm Sarah Mannel. The seasonal train service to Cape Cod from Boston had a successful first season. CCRTA Administrator Tom Kerr says because of its success, the Cape Flyer will extend service through Columbus Day.
Everything worked out very well. There were a couple of bad weekends where weather really influenced the day trippers, but all in all, it was overwhelmingly successful, and we carried actually 15,001 people over the course of the 15 weeks. So it was pretty neat, and as a result of the success we enjoyed, the governor and Secretary of Transportation and MBTA General Manager, suggested, well, if you want to keep running this longer, that would make some sense. So we talked to Wendy Northcross and others, and Wendy felt that the shoulder season is very important to the region, economically and otherwise, and there's a number of festivals, the Scholar Festival in Bourne and the Harvest Fest and several other events that will be going on over the course of the next 6 weeks. So we're going to just continue the same schedule on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday out of South Station to Hyannis, stopping at Braintree, Middleborough, Buzzards Bay, and Hyannis. And that will conclude the service for 2013. And in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be meeting with the Secretary of Transportation and a few other folks just to kind of discuss some of the success that we had this year and talk about some tweaks and some potential improvements for next year. So
Kerr says one of those tweaks might include adding a stop on the south side of the canal so that visitors heading to Falmouth can avoid traffic on the Cape's busy bridges. The CCRTA is also making advances for its bus passengers. The Transportation Authority added Next Bus, a web-based service that will help riders plan their trips.
And so this Next Bus technology allows people to get a better understanding of exactly where their bus is, from their computer or from their GPS-enabled cell phone or just from their phone. And then we have LED displays at the various shelters around the Cape that tell you exactly when your bus will be arriving. So it's pretty neat, and we've had a lot of very favorable comments. People can just they visit www.capecodrta.org and click on our Next Bus icon, and you can see the arrival times of your next bus and where it is and that type of thing. So it's really neat, and it's helpful to people that have to get their kids to school and know where the bus is so that they don't have to wait around. And, the advancements just keep happening, and we try to keep up with them.
Visit capetransit.org to access Next Bus. The Barnstable Senior Center's Silver Star Transportation System was recently awarded the 2013 Star Award. The center was one of 10 programs to receive the award out of 123 applicants. Director of Senior Services Madeline Noonan says the award comes with a $5,000 grant.
It was a national recognition from an organization called the Beverly Foundation. They're based in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and basically what they do is they research senior transportation programs throughout the entire United States. And as an added incentive for them to get all this research, they present this award every year. They give it out to 10 communities across the country, and there's also like a financial incentive because every year they give a cash award, as well as the sort of the bragging rights, with the Star Award. And we were really fortunate this year to be selected as one of 10 communities throughout the country, from states like California, Florida, Arizona, Colorado, New Hampshire, and we were the only community in Massachusetts selected to receive one of these. And basically the Star Award, it's presented to communities that really model like outstanding programs in terms of utilizing volunteers and providing, a valuable community service. And that's something that we feel that we do every day through our Silver Express program, is we're providing an ability for seniors that can no longer drive themselves to where they need to get to remain living independently. We can get them there, safely, reliably, treating them with dignity. And it's, it's something we've had great pride in over the years since we started this program back in 1998. But to get that national recognition, it really helps bolster, the standing that the program has in the community, and it just contributes to our overall sense of pride.
The grant money will help pay for the salary of a part-time driver. Well, have you ever had a question about something going on in and around town and didn't know where to turn? Well, Barnstable This Morning host Sarah Colvin sat down with Assistant Town Manager Mark Ells to find out the best way for residents to get any questions answered.
So today I wanted to talk a little bit about communications, especially between kind of town hall and the town councilors. And there's so many issues and so many things to talk about, and there's 13 different councilors. So let's talk a little bit about how you work to communicate with them, and really how logistically it all works.
Well, actually, that's a big part of what Tom and I do, is to communicate with our council, with our department, certainly, with our public. And you can imagine that the range of questions and the amount are sometimes ominous to keep up with. But we try to keep a constant flow of information. Obviously, shows like yours and the weekly newsletters and the monthly newsletters are all part of an effort to continue that flow of information. But for example, we had councilors who needed information to go back to their civic association meetings this week. There was one in West Barnstable last night. I believe there was one in Cotuit and another one coming up in the Mills tonight or tomorrow night. And so we need to have information on projects. We need to have information on programs. West Barnstable, one of the issues was the shooting range. Over in the Mills, it's the Burgess House. And it was questions relative to Loops Beach down in Cotuit. So we're constantly interfacing between the civic groups that are out there, our council, and our staff to try to gather that information. And in many cases, for example, Dan Santos, our Director of Public Works, would go directly to the Marston Mills meeting and be able to provide that input, or Joanne Buntage might be able to go out there if there's a planning effort. But you can also imagine that the information is constantly changing.
Absolutely.
Because we're either progressing or not progressing. And one of the real challenges is getting accurate information out there. It seems to be people will grab a piece of information, whether it's accurate or not, it'll get distributed, and then that becomes the basis for the discussion, and in many cases, decisions or directions that people may want to head. So we want to get good information out there. Certainly to our council and certainly to the many organizations that we're dealing with on a regular basis.
And I think not only good information, but information that's easy to understand and hard to misinterpret. And I think that's the challenge, especially when you're dealing with so many complicated public policies and projects, to be able to kind of try and simplify that information and get it out to as many people as possible who need it, so that it does stay accurate while it goes kind of through the telephone line, is a huge challenge.
Well, I know the managers work, that's absolutely the case, and with the addition of, certainly the distribution ability of social media to reach many, many places very quickly, that's a real challenge, to make sure that it is correct and it is up to date as it goes out. But the manager, I think, has a very solid plan on how to be able to achieve this in focusing on what the priorities are, in putting in place multiple means of communicating out to these various groups that we're talking about. So, he and I work on that constantly. We're in discussions right now about being able to put something together on a monthly basis that gives updates on major program status and major project statuses, because we get many questions and we want to have a correct and consistent flow of information going out on them.
Ells encourages all residents to reach out with any questions. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.